Here are 5 exercises you can do to build a strong, robust body, guard against injury when you're running, and maybe even improve your performance as well. So here goes. Exercise number 1, you'll need a cable machine. Choose your weight. And there are various forms of ankle strap. I like this one, but whatever works for you. And then you're going to stand nice and far away from the machine so that the weights aren't touching down. Hold on to something either in front of you or behind you, depending on the gym setup. The hips should be in line with wherever the attachment is, wherever the cable is coming from. You're going to stand nice and tall, hold your body upright, and then slowly go to the side like that and back in. You want to make sure the foot does not turn out, so you don't want to be doing this. You're staying tall, just pushing out as far as you're able to. It won't be that far, and back in. Starting nice and slowly like this, about 3 seconds each way, is a good guide. I'll put all the rep ranges in the description at the bottom, but generally I would go for sets of about 5 reps. Once you finish that set, ease back in, gently touch the weight down, and then you turn around and do the other way. Standing tall, again, nicely aligned with wherever the cable is coming from. And then we're going exactly the same movement, but the resistance is from the opposite direction. Slowly in, slowly out. Easing out of that. First exercise is for your abductors, and the second one for your adductors. So we're strengthening really around the hip there. Exercise number 3 is for your hamstrings, and we want to go all the way to the outer range for that. To do that, we have the attachment all the way at the top. And you're going to make sure your foot is nice and securely in there. You don't want to be too far away from the cable machine, so it should be pulling quite, as vertically as you can get, really. Hold on again for balance. And then we want to go slowly up and slowly down. You're keeping the legs straight. Notice I'm pointing the toes a little bit. If you pull them up towards you, you get a nasty nerve stretch down the back of the leg. It's not particularly useful. It's certainly not pleasant. So keep those toes pointing away, and it will mean you can go through more of your hamstring range of movement, and less unpleasant, less uncomfortable, and overall makes the exercise a bit more enjoyable. So you're staying tall, slowly up, slowly down. When you're doing that one and you're lifting the leg, you want to make sure you're not sort of hitching the hip as you lift it. So keep that pelvis nice and level while you do it. Exercise number 4 is a split squat. This is great for quads. It's great for your glute max as well. What you'll need is a couple of dumbbells. Ideally stand facing a mirror. It's kind of useful so you can check your positioning, and big lunge forward. Making sure the outside of the foot is in line with the outside of the hip. Common mistake on this one is people bring that foot too far in, so you can just shuffle that out. Standing nice and tall, up on the toes of the back foot, and when you're ready, down you go. 2, 3, slowly on that lift. What we want to make sure as you go down is that all your weight, or as much as possible, is on that front leg. The back leg is really just there for balance. So you're going slowly down and slowly back up. Keeping that weight on the front leg as much as possible. You want to be driving that front heel into the floor. Final exercise is for the calf muscles, so the back of the lower leg. Really, really important in the propulsion, or your propulsion when you're running. As you can see, I've taken my shoes off for this one. This will really just challenge the balance a bit more, challenge those intrinsic muscles of the feet, the ones on the bottom there. For this, you'll need quite chunky weights. So you can do this either with dumbbells or with a barbell. I'll show you that in a second. But you want to stand nice and tall and slowly go up. Now you want to try and keep that weight padding down through the big toes. Naturally, you'll probably find you want to roll towards the outside. But just so we can work those calves as hard as possible, try to keep that through the big toes. So you're padding down through the big toes as much as possible. From side on, we're doing it with straight knees, so it should look like this. Notice that little wobble at the top, that will happen, don't worry about that at all. Try to go directly up and down and it will minimize that, but you can pause the movement while you regain your balance if you need. For the calves, it's actually quite a common thing for people to underload it so they don't get much of a strengthening benefit. So actually using a barbell, if it's free, and if you're happy to use one, it can be really, really effective in order to load it correctly. So this is how we would do it. Get yourself nice and centered. The bar low onto your upper trapezius muscles there. You squeeze them back, they'll act like a nice pad underneath the bar, and then pushing up. Take a little step back. Again, feet hip width apart. Slowly going up on your toes and slowly down. Always trying to keep that weight, or at least a good chunk of it, padding down through the big toe. Keeping those knees straight, going directly up and directly down. So there you have it, 5 exercises. If you do a couple of sets of 5 of each of those and challenge yourself appropriately with the weight you're lifting, you'll get a massive strengthening benefit from that, which means you can spend less time in the gym and more time doing what you enjoy, which, as I presume if you're watching this video, is running. Enjoy. Any questions, just leave them in the comments.